Hi everybody, I'm Jim Wooster. It's my privilege to introduce to you today a wonderful story about agriculture, more specifically a story of livestock production in the state of South Dakota. You know, I spent about 43 years in the business of livestock marketing, and over the course of that time I've seen lots and lots of change, but nothing like what has happened in the last 5 or 10 years. Change in technology, change in the way the families get into the business, and especially change in respect for the environment. It's a hope that this video can be beneficial to any family farming operation that's thinking about getting into the business of livestock production, or for that matter, expanding an existing operation.
The story of agriculture in South Dakota is written by family farmers. Stories of a life on the land and sharing that life with their family. And thanks to dedication and hard work, South Dakota has grown and prospered. The hopes and dreams of family farmers working the land, raising livestock, have not changed. The way to achieve those hopes and dreams has changed.
I think most farm kids that do come from the farm, if the opportunity's there, they'll go back.
So what can producers do to make sure that the goals they have, the dreams they nourish, can become reality? Change these days means growth. And for growth to be successful, livestock producers have to know about and live by the rules. Before a single shovelful of dirt can be turned, there's a process that producers must follow, beginning with communication within their community and ending with the permitting process.
I think anytime that we can say something to the public and to try to get them to understand how we do things, it diffuses some of the negative press, and I guess that's always been an important thing.
We went to the county board, township board first. We gave them the plans, let them look at it, let the discussion start in the neighborhood so that the people were aware of what we were doing, how the process was going to go, some of the requirements that we had, and it just made them feel a lot more comfortable when they understood it and got to see how it was going to take place.
The next step along the way is working with the State Department of Environment and Natural Resources.
They have to submit plans and specifications for their manure containment system. They have to submit that at least 60 days prior to wanting to start construction. They have to include a management plan that shows that they have enough land to apply the manure for a long-term basis. They have to submit some forms required by the permit. They have to submit a training certification, one-day training that they have to go to. And they have to submit an operation and maintenance guideline that is specific to their operation, because this is a general permit, so we want to know what they specifically have to do to operate it properly.
An ongoing issue and concern for neighbors, regulators, and producers is odor. It's a concern for new and existing operations, requiring planning in the design stage and monitoring once the facility is in use.
We do our best to incorporate best management practices within our designs to help eliminate or rather reduce the potential for odor.
We like manure. We're trying to dig it in 6 to 8 inches deep so we don't deal with any odor issues because, hey, anytime you've got odor with manure, you're giving up some of that fertility. And so we like to keep all that in our ground if we can.
Protecting the land and the groundwater is another important part of South Dakota livestock production. It's a consideration for producers and engineers.
We are a very well-regulated industry. DNR, we have to have all our soil tested, and we have to document how our nutrients applied per acre, and they check those records, and so we want to do things right.
Whether it's an existing facility coming into compliance with state and federal regulations, or whether we have a facility that wants to expand, or a new facility in terms of siting. And distance to groundwater is obviously very important for staying in compliance with the rules and regulations side of the equation, and distance to surface water as well.
The changes brought about by livestock expansion have had a positive economic impact on the neighboring communities.
During construction, you may have a couple hundred contractors, employees out here working and generating millions of dollars worth of construction costs that ultimately will multiply itself back to the local communities, the counties, and the state as well.
Through all the change that has revolutionized agriculture in South Dakota, there is one constant: the family farm. And though they have grown considerably from the operations of the past decade, the spirit of community, the love of and protection of the land and natural resources, and a desire to do the right thing remains the same.
Agriculture is a big part of our whole community and our whole economy.
That's kind of myself and wife's goal, is to have our kids have the option to come back onto the farm. I guess we've just been expanding a little bit to hopefully make that happen.
Livestock production has changed just like any other aspect in business, and I don't feel that we should step back from that. Be proud of what you do.